We're back with a little bit more of General's Moonbase. This is a update to the list we played just the other day. So in its core, it is a red-white Nahiri the Harbinger prison deck. Nahiri gives us an out to win with Emrakul the Aeons Torn at a pretty brisk pace. And then the pieces of Blood Moon, Chalice, and Karn create a fairly strong prison package in general and are decent in this metagame. The sort of spicy parts of this deck are General Ferrous Rokiric. This is red, white, and 1 for a 3-1 with hexproof and monocolored. And whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 4-4 red and white golem artifact creature token. So this thing beefs up your board very, very quickly, and is fairly difficult to remove if you just resolve it on turn 3 and pass the turn. Lightning Helix and Wrenn and 6 are probably the most played cards that can solve this. Obviously, Wrenn and 6 more played than Helix, but neither of those cards are super highly played right now, so it's a pretty reasonable card, and we had a lot of decent moments with it last night. We're down to 3 copies of Thrilling Discovery, but this is just generally a good way to rummage through your deck, maybe toss some prison pieces you don't need in a given matchup, and search for the cards that you want. Because of Thrilling Discovery and Nahiri the Harbinger, once you've hit 4 to 6 lands, you probably want to start holding them. Thrilling Discovery does require two other cards in your hand to be able to cast it and draw through your deck, so if you have, say, a redundant Chalice of the Void, you don't need to just slam that onto the board unless you're really concerned about your opponent killing it. The most significant tweak in this deck was fiddling around with the white-black cards. Now we have a Kaya Orzhov Usurper. Actually, I have 2 of these. Again, generally should be pretty good in the metagame here. Exiling 1 CMC, 1 mana value permanence is fairly good, and in a lot of matchups this is like a repeatable Vindicate against decks like Hammer Time, against anything that's playing Dragon's Rage Channelers. And then the ability to attack the graveyard repeatedly and gain life is also good, and provides an alternate win condition if we have to go very long. So we're down to 1 Kaya's Guile, 1 Vindicate. We have the other 2 in the sideboard. We now have Rest in Peace. We've cut down a little bit on the artifact package, but I generally think that this is a large wish board for Karn, but it's sort of more on the reasonable side. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a Sorcerer's Spyglass rather than Phyrexian Revoker, unless someone can very strongly tell me that I definitely need to shut down a particular mana ability. I can't think of anything in the metagame that I really, really care about. Even Urza, I don't really mind so much, because Urza's mana ability kind of is most important that it sinks into his own other ability. And if I want to stop Thopter Sword combo, I'm just going to call the Thopter Foundry. Revoker's 100% out? Okay, cool. So we'll just make that switch really quick. And then everything else seems good. So let's go... I'm going to go buy an old frame. We're going to go splurge. We're going to go buy an old frame Sorcerer's Spyglass from the only Magic the Gathering online retailer that I use, which is MTGO Traders. I got you, Red 7. Hopefully that is better. This also might be a little bit more backgroundy so that I get a little less distracted with it. Hopefully what happens is on the VOD, both the Magic Online sound and the music will be muted. So in addition to having DMCA free VODs that you all will be able to watch anytime you want via Twitch, which will be great, then people on YouTube will never again be able to make the comment about the fact that I have MTGO sounds on, which I always thought was funny. People basically did the YouTube comment equivalent of the Twitch what emote. It was just like very like... I've never used MTGO Traders, the better than Card Hoarder. I don't know. For buy bots, I just found MTGO Traders forever ago, and and I just started using them. I honestly just mostly use them out of habit, and I have no idea how good they are in the sort of competitive sense. It's just like I just always use the same bot service, because then when you have like leftover little bits of tickets and whatnot, then you don't, you just keep it all on the same service. So I literally have no idea. I feel like maybe they're not actually the best because GoatBots is like very big and well known, and then there's, yeah, I'm sure there's Card Hoarder. So we're on the play here. We have 3 lands, Vindicate, Prismatic Ending, and we're a 24 land deck now, so I'm just going to snap this off. Obviously, Gemstone Caverns isn't the most appealing thing in the world, but we have the Savai Triome, which should give us access to all of our colors until perhaps we Blood Moon, and then we'll Arid Mesa for a Plains, so we'll have the 2 most relevant colors. Halsey M return. Well, I am glad. How you doing, Alex? The GoatBots are Card Hoarder, sure. My running into Hammer Time non-stop continues. I think out of the last couple leagues, I've run into this deck like, I don't know. It feels like an average of like 1.5 times a league. It's been a lot of Hammer Time. Lot of Hammer Time. Well, that's fun. So we could die this turn, or we do every Twitch chat's favorite move. Are you all ready? Y'all ready for this? Do 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 Stone Rain do 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 Stone Rain do 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 do. Lukewarm needs a new Twitch name. Lukewarm 24. It's my #1 suggestion. I have nothing else to contribute to your situation. All right. So, I like Karn here because the only way that they can kill me if I play Karn this turn is Giver with double hammer. And then I have access to Bridge next turn. So. My question is, do I want to, like, do any of, like, do I want to grab any of these things? Like, I guess EE for 0 is, like, theoretically going to be somewhat. Nahiri can kill their aid, too. Oh, that was a good, yeah, that would have been a really good line. It's funny, I was like really quick on sniping down their Klothys last night because I was like, oh, well, obviously that's what you want to do there, because even though Klothys looks like a creature, Klothys is in fact an enchantment creature. EE on 1 looks nice. I'm just going to grab the EE just because it's like a good safety play for next turn. Like, yeah, E on 1 is definitely like hot fire here. Just see how many hammers they have access to. They haven't played any hammers, and they haven't played any Steel Shaper's Gifts. I'm going to guess I'm dead, and I really should have killed the Sigarda's Aid with the Nahiri. Maybe we get one more turn here, and if we do, we'll be fine. Maybe they think we're on Solitude. No Stoneforge Mystic. No. They're attacking the Karn. It's a cowardly move, opponent. I like it. Yeah, off the Sigarda's Aid they can. Yay, we didn't die! But I mean, now we have a lot of crap to deal with. unfortunately. And it's like, it's really difficult to apply any part of this hand to the battlefield. Yeah, like I can only play one spell. Yeah, I mean we only hopefully we play EE on one here. Or would they hammer if they saw the EE? I'm assuming because their plan is to start beating me to death with constructs. So I guess the question is, we could play Nahiri, exile the Giver, but then they make the construct. The construct they're about to build has haste. That's the problem I have. Is like, if I Nahiri their Giver, I immediately lose the Nahiri, and they could end up killing us anyway. Whereas EE on 1 is like much safer. EE on 1 means like they have to go to combat. Here you can exile Saga. I mean, she can, but then what am I like? Am I taking 11 and or letting them kill my Nahiri plus they still make a construct? Like, but it'll be a 1/1. Well, it'll be at least. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm supposed to EE here. They're gonna have 2 3/3s potentially next turn. That's not too bad. Because they could just Saga for Saga probably gets Memnite. I mean, if they're playing a main deck Needle, though, they're going to nail my Engineered Explosives to the wall. So I think I have to pop it in response to the search. Yeah, I think I have to. It's just too risky not to. Like, if we get hit like that, it's basically over. But I do want to see if they go in for the construct or not. And they do. Greed, though? What, you think my opponent would be that greedy? I mean, what's going to happen is they're going to attack me for X with the construct. And then, yeah, I've seen that, Red 7, but yeah, exactly. Like either one of those is really poor, right? The sequencing here is kind of nice, at least. Like that they can't get a hammer and then play an aid. So what I'm hoping goes down here is Nahiri exiles one construct, the next construct attacks Nahiri, and then I exile the next. They're playing 2 Springleaf Drums. Are they going to get their Luris? Yeah. What do we need here? Helix would be great. That's going to be for both YouTube and the Twitch VODs, Fluffy Beast. So you should be hearing them now because that's the same track that all the music's on. So you'll be hearing them now, but in theory, the Twitch VODs are getting one of the audio feeds that doesn't have that on it. So the only thing that's basically on the Twitch VOD is my voice, and then all the visuals. Which wouldn't work for some games, but you don't need the sound effects for Magic Online. And I think if it was Arena, I could actually split out the Arena audio, because Arena is designed to be a video game. I wonder if they even bother killing my Nahiri. They do. Interesting. Once again, we found a game where I really wish that we had a board wipe somewhere in our deck. Not that I actually think it would be all that useful, but they're doing all of this instead of playing the Luris, but then next turn they can go Luris Hammer. So, kind of screwed here. And the Hammer comes in at instant speed. I can go General Discovery. Yeah. General into Discovery gives me a construct that basically doesn't do anything, but we're not actually dead on board. We're just going to get buried by Lurrus. Yeah, there's one in the main deck. There's still one in the main deck. Yeah, we don't have to cast Thrilling Discovery to draw cards here. Yeah, I know it sucks, but like it's not like Thrilling Discovery ever actually draws you any cards, right? It just filters out what you don't want. And unfortunately, at this moment, our hand is all things that we want. Yeah. Oh, the quality command is solid. Really let Magic Online know where it's at. And to be fair to the rest of this game, like at a whole bunch of points, if we had been able to find Blood Moon or some such, then we would have been in a much better space. That is a very funny command. So apparently MTG Bot has a command for Explain Pack Rat that leads you to this. Someone died in a PTQ to your opponent playing turn 2 Pack Rat. Which, obviously this is a joke, I mean, I assume so. That's pretty great. How deep does the MTG Bot random command well run, I wonder? You're pretty sure it actually happened? I mean, I have no ability to determine one way or the other. Also, fun fact, if we had actually played the Nahiri and exiled the Aid, as was an excellent play at the time, they just had another one anyway. So it didn't matter. We never had a Chalice in this game, though, right? So that's, you know. Wait, what? What? Okay. All right. I'll take your 15, opponent. Yep. Yeah, that's not... I mean, they don't have trample yet, so that's something. And I can exile their graveyard. I mean, I guess technically not dead is the state that we find ourselves in. I'm just going to go ahead and do this before we get into a stupid spot. What do you mean by that, Luke? Because I hear that word get tossed around a lot right now, and I don't like the fact that it doesn't seem to have a solid definition. But that's just me. It bothers me that a lot of people throw the word scam around right now, and I have no idea what they mean because they all clearly mean different things. Not all of them, but like a very large number of people use that term very differently right now in referring to decks. Which is why on... there was a stream that I was on yesterday, or maybe it was here on this stream, where I said specifically, I was like, now under the definition of scam that is bleh, and then I explained exactly what I meant when I was describing it. I think deck X, blah, 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 to blue. I can't remember what deck I was actually talking about. Oh, it was Ice 9. Because Ice 9 is top 32 to bunch of challenges. Yeah, Hammer Time is very real. Like, I can't, you can't, I don't think there's any version of the word scam other than, like, the reverse of that definition. Meaning it's not as good as it appears at the moment. I wish you were right, but every time I run into Hammer Time right now, I basically lose either very quickly or very slowly. Does a pro white kill me? I have 2 artifacts and a white black creature, but I have 2 artifact creatures in play, Georgie boy, so we're not dead to pro white. Yeah, Hammer Time is not only is Hammer Time the what? No, they're not. If they were white red, wouldn't they be white and red? Oh my god, they are white red. That's so stupid. What? Look at them, they're artifacts. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 4/4 red and white. Oh yeah, okay. If they notice what you noticed, then I would be dead. Uh-huh. Please give it pro colorless. I think they were reading my card. Yeah, cool. God damn it, that's so stupid. Alright, well. No, I mean, I don't object to the... You don't need to show me the paper. It's more obvious in the paper token. I don't think that it is, though. There's no color indicator on it. There's literally nothing that says it's red and white other than pin lines. Pin lines are not... Pin lines are not rules text. There should be a color indicator on them or something. Or the text, like, Golem is red and white. Yeah. I mean, I did see, like, it's slightly more apparent in paper, but, like, Jesus. Come on. Like, what is that? All right. So I'm going to trim on generals here. Timely just will immediately give me more blockers. I mean, the generals seemed to be doing good work there until they had a Giver of Runes that I could never solve. Most of our deck is pretty good in this matchup, in theory. I think we might just be a little too slow, but at least we do know what we have to do, which is get Chalice on 1. Just wait until they make a new Golem token, yeah. Like when the young Pyromancer tokens all had trample. I guess Kaya's Guile's actually really, really poor here. Not that Vindicate is much better, but... Oops, sorry. Not that Vindicate's much better, but... Can't keep that. Alright, there we go. That's what we're looking for. So I think I chuck the Nahiri. And I just hope this is good enough. I guess I kind of have a decision to make whether or not I'm supposed to Chalice on 0. But I'm basically 100% sure that I'm not. I think you really... That's a bit... The biggest problem is seeing what they're able to throw down on 1. Giver is fine. Is Blue-White Urza's nickname Dice Factory now? No, I finished that league earlier, and I went a total of 1-4. It was really bad. I ran into Tron in the last round. They just trashed me. Right, I know that's their sideboard answers, Red 7, but they didn't actually see any of our prison pieces last game. Like, literally 0. It's Cedric. This is not Cedric. Wouldn't Cedric be Cedric Phillips? Or maybe he is Cell Dweller. I bet he's Cell Dweller. And I bet he brought in exactly the correct cards, because it's Cedric. Yeah, he's streaming? Oh, well, fuck me. Don't worry, guys. We're just over here losing to one of the best modern players and streaming people, bloody blue, whatever you call Cedric. I don't know, content creators. That's him, GG. I mean, I got double Chalice. This is about as good as it's gonna get. 24 land deck, can't find third land, so maybe one time. If they legitimately don't have a third land, sorry, that is Cedric Phillips. If that's Cedric Phillips, I don't actually know. You're now watching both sides. I guess that's confirmation. Okay, good. Good draw. He's always like that. Just like, looks like a giant bodybuilder with his, like, phones on, just very... And I can't do it. Obviously he's really amazing. He's such an amazing, player, and he's obviously a big contributor to the community. But I don't know. It's just not me. Hello, Brian. Alright. Let's do the same thing in game 3, but with a Gemstone Caverns. He didn't even say hi to me in chat! Obviously he's not obligated to. That's a great freaking emote. My infant beard? That's nice, Shauna. I mean, yeah, you can go ahead and say hi on my behalf, Halsey. Maybe not if I win. Cooking a big pile of bacon right now. Ask me anything. All right, is it what is it called? Ancient style? Oh crap! What did that? I bought some thick cut bacon the other day, and please, that looks like a super soaker, but like one of those like super soaker pistols. Ting Fang. Man, it's Symbol sends his regards. I mean, I basically think that I'm gonna die by keeping this hand, even though, like, I have turn 2 Helix, turn 3 Blood Moon. I assume this is nowhere near good enough. But I honestly, on the draw, like, this has mana and, like, relevant spells, so hopefully he doesn't have a blisteringly fast hand and we just get through this. I could top deck Prismatic Ending, and that would help out a lot. So, yeah, keeps his 7. But he tanked on it for a minute. I don't know. I'm going to keep this. Yeah, we're still up against Hammer Time. I agree the 7 looks really bad, but I also think that, like, basically no matter what, it's going to be really, really, really hard for us, Roy. Like, it's just not, I don't, on the draw, I just don't know that there's anything better than this. What, bleh. I don't know. Like, because we're playing Chalice, we're playing a limited amount of 1 mana removal. So the only thing we have is 4 of Prismatic Ending, which I can't reliably, go for here. If this is a hammer, God, we're just fucked. Yeah. It's like, I guess I could draw Vanishing Verse. But even then, they still have 2 cards in hand, so it's like not even realistic. Yeah. As I said, I don't think there was any reasonable hand we could mull to that was going to beat that. So, this deck is going to have a hard time against Hammer when they have hands like that, right? Unless you have turn 1 untapped white and Prismatic Ending. And even then, what did they play on 1? They played the Giver. Were we going to Prismatic Ending the Giver? I guess we would, because, yeah, it was Cedric Phillips. Yeah, someone else mentioned. He played a good game. I'm not surprised. He plays that deck very, very well. But it's just, like, brutally good. Taking a game off of them is very good, Yeah, so we didn't get to play it. Oh, you're saying, like, stay in the game? Yeah, I could have Helix the Thopter, and then I checked what I was drawing. It was Chalice, right? Not that I should have based the decision on whether or not to concede on what card I was going to draw, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we technically we could have pulled through there, but I didn't stick in for the tiny percentage chance. Yeah, you are right, Temple and Knight. Even if they didn't have the Thopter, I could have gone upstairs, right? Because it's not like they could move the hammer. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, this deck has gotten to a point of pretty goodness. Opponents on Luris. I'm going to go ahead and keep this, and we'll try to figure out if Chalice on 0 is something we want in this matchup. Technically, we had answers, and I should have played out to them beat Temple. You're right. You're right. I'm sure it was, Halsey. I mean, I said at the last point I kind of commented on the game state, I was like, even if we manage to play through this, they still have 2 cards in hand. It's not like we actually were getting anywhere. Okay, so we have no turn 2 play anymore. Wonderful. That said, Black-Red Luris, if that's what this is a pretty good matchup for the kind of deck we're playing. We do need to find something to do. But, like, this is the kind of deck we're kind of trying to beat up on. If they have turn 2 Dothy Voidwalker, I'm going to be unpleased, but it's fine. Anyway, Halsey, I kind of knew that was going to be the case when I found out about the Esper Charm, I want to say article, but it might have been the Esper Charm incident, which, if you look up Cedric Phillips and Esper Charm, you can see what that is. It's not like reprehensible or anything like that, but it is one of those things where it's like, yeah. And it's just, I can't tell anyone who's playing. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's. But I mean, people are going to like stuff like that sometimes, right? I think a lot of people are probably fans of him being and doing like that. So, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't know, like, I'm not totally innocent of, like, having gloaty moments. Yeah, exactly. And that's something I can respect, right? Yeah, yeah. No, but enabling Twitch chat is like, it's part of the appeal. It's like, Canister's whole persona allows Twitch chat to just sort of pop off about everything that he's doing all the time. All right, so I'm assuming they have a counter here of some kind, which sucks, the big one. They're probably Grixis, Luris with counter magic, Snapcaster mages, and the monkey. I have no idea when it was from. I only found out about it recently because Esper Charm was back in the meta with Esper Command being relevant in Esper Control. Sorry, Esper Charm. I guess the Kaya requires, they can't use KCOM on Kaya, but they can use Counterspell. On Chalice, they can use Counterspell or KCOM. So let's play the Chalice. See what they do. If they have Kolaghan's Command and Counterspell in hand, and they choose to counter this, that means that is one less counter they'll have for Kaya. So that's the reason I'm playing my threats the way I am here, is based on... Okay, so if I had gone Mountain Kaya, we could have punched it through the Drown in the Lock. I wasn't thinking of Drown in the Lock. I was only thinking of Counterspell, but I should have thought of Drown in the Lock here. And I can't Karn next turn because I have to fetch. So, I don't know. They're just running away with this game with tempo spells and monkey. The turn 1 Inquisition definitely messed us up. Well, they definitely won't be playing that card. Okay. Alright, well, if they don't have a 2-mana counter again, we could end up in a good spot here. I'm going to grab the Mountain just in case I draw Blood Moon anytime soon. I would have gotten a Plains at any point this game, but we drew triple Bloodstained Mire for our fetches. Get him, Kaya. Oh, really? Okay, so I can plus here and eat their Delirium. But there's a good chance they'll just restore it. So let's just toast the Darcy, Dragon's Rage Chandler. And then if they monkey, then sure. Alright. Well, monkey gets to keep hitting me. Wonderful. Okay. Hey, Larynx, how's it going? I mean, so, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, because people think that it does, Halsey. That's why. Because people like Roy, and I'm not saying Roy's doing anything wrong, but like, will say things like, I could say Archmage's Charm, draw 2. And before I pick up my cards, Roy will say targeting who. Well, my opponent's now played my Nahiri. So that's fun. Well, and so the problem with this whole debate is... I'm just going to call it debate, but the problem with the whole issue is, like, I literally can't actually be annoyed at people who they're just playing the game the way the system is allowing. And the system allows for exactly what they're doing. It was never changed to prevent something like that from happening. So if they had wanted to, I assume they could rewrite the policy in such a way to respect, what happened there, and they never did. Also, the people like, grinders like Dom Harvey and etc. These are people who spend a lot of money traveling long distances, etc., to compete in Magic events to try to do the best they can, and they're just gonna take the edges they can where they can. If someone misreads a card, they're gonna slam them for it. If they make a misplay, they're gonna slam them for it. If they make a game rules violation, they're gonna knock them for it. Yeah, exactly. Boomers, Yeah, someone names Borborygmos with Pithing Needle, exactly. Like it's a legitimate name. That's the name of the card. And to be fair, in current modern rules, if you named Borborygmos with a Pithing Needle and didn't spend any time clarifying, right? Like, that's the name of a card. It's just the name of a card. It's actually factually the name of a card. So, like, it's just hard. Yeah. Rules and policies. Policies definitely something that anyone who's a comp REL player should know reasonably well, because it's just a pretty big part of the game. Rules lawyering is what people call those who enforce the rules. I mean, so with the Esper Charm thing, right? There's sort of like a spirit of the rules versus the actual letter of the law kind of thing going on, but yeah, by and large. Okay, so let's Spyglass the Nahiri, and yes, I'm aware that Spyglass is my Nahiri's. Fetch Liquimetal Coating. They have K-Com, Ragavan, Terminate. Oh. So they have K-Com for the Spyglass. But I can get Liquimetal Coating and turn off Nahiri with that too. So that this should work out okay anyway. Damn. Alright, could have used the Sunbaked there. Whatever, we'll be fine, probably. Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the kind of thing you want to do in that situation, Halsey. Like, just... because if you do that, you at least have built a case for yourself that's going to be pretty unshakable. Right? So it's not like they said it once and you're like, wait, sorry, let me make sure what you said. And you want them to repeat it a few times so you can be like, listen, I checked. This is not... Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, didn't think of that play. I mean, it's not really a whoopsie. I think there was no way to do what I wanted to do there. And I have Karn for next turn. So, hopefully we draw something useful. Turns out Nahiri is something our deck is not... Oh my god, they get to dash the freaking monkey again off the goddamn treasure. Okay. Oh, what? They didn't have that Thoughtseize last turn. They drew exactly Thoughtseize this turn. God bless you, opponent. Yeah, just Ragavan the whole game. It doesn't even help. They have a freaking Ragavan. And they have the Nahiri going up. All right. Technically, I could stay in this game and win it. I'm 100% sure that that's true. That wouldn't do it. That wouldn't do it. That wouldn't do it. Cool. Good. I hope you, all the non-believers are satisfied. I guess Kaya's Guile's maybe kind of okay here. Yeah, that's definitely going to happen a lot in Paper Red 7. My 16-year-old opponent today had no winning lines and no outs, then proceeded to take game actions for 5 minutes and explained sometimes opponents don't remove the Dryad because they don't know how Valakut works. That's what I was hoping for. I mean, to be fair, I've stayed in games from time to time where I'm like, well, maybe they don't know how cards work. Okay, I guess Vanishing Verse is maybe okay in this matchup. I don't know what cards they're playing, though. Like they played Monkey and nothing? No, it's probably no good. But the extra Kaya's Guile is fine. Vindicate's probably fine. Rest in Peace is definitely the card I want. Yeah. All right. It's probably Grixis Luris. Well, like, I assume they're playing Snapcaster Mages. They played a Dragon's Rage Channeler in that. I mean, this hand could be okay if I hit the third land. 24 land deck. Let's do it. Is it Jerry's 2? I have no idea what they're playing. It looks like a Grixis Luris deck that played Mishra's Bauble, DRC, and Monkey. But I don't know anything more than that. There was a Drown in the Lock. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know if they're playing Dothy Voidwalker. I don't know... Like, I just don't know enough information about what their deck is because it's not particularly well established. Okay, that's a good start for us. It's your space helmet. I don't know what that is, Freed. Oh, also, how you doing, Freed? I saw people sassing your boy, Dreadhorde Arcanist. People were sassing your boy. What, you think we don't like the Who around here? I guess maybe I should have ending there because Helix is an instant speed answer against Ragavans. I just feel like ending... I kind of always want to keep ending. Sure. I mean, I theoretically brought in lots of ways to deal with this. I would like to find any of them now. Well, we found the land. Okay. So they're probably never getting that Crocs out. And they're playing 3 colors, so they should get wrecked here. Okay. If I can remove the Dragon's Rage Channeler and then Tormod's Crypt, or vice versa even. Okay, well... Inquisition me, please. And then I can top deck a land, and then... Okay. I said Inquisition! Inquisition! That's not what I wanted you to do! Come on. Nope. Oh, no! We don't have black mana! Oh. But I had to fetch the Triome on the first turn to play the Lightning Helix. Alright. We're not dead at all here. I just... They're picking up another Dragon's Rage Chandler. Hooray. Okay. Who's the one getting mooned now? I mean, my opponent. It's just also affecting me as usual. Oh. What? Oh, they just picked up Ragavan. Rude. We never found a Chalice. We're going to draw the Chalice now, probably. I mean, they did spew 2 KCOMs, so if we find the Chalice now... Yes, I ditched the Kaya. The Kaya I can't cast. All I need is any land to play Karn. I need specifically only the one swamp in my deck if I want to play the Kaya. So, yes, I ditched the Kaya. 110% I ditched that Kaya. Oh, and Ragavan's going to give them the colors they need now. So, we're basically done for. Oh, great! Well, there's my other Kaya. It's just, this is going to be too late. I guess I could have gotten EE there. If they don't attack down Karn, I will. In theory, Bridge is better. Alright, fine. Take your win. I can't beat the way that draw went. So that match up should be one of our best possible ones, and we just got eaten alive. Which is really rough. Again, like, they Thoughtseize the Chalice in game 1, and then we never drew one in game 2. But I don't know. It really felt like the tension between Blood Moon and being the 3-color deck is what nailed us to the wall there. Overly investing in this Murktide Regent technology and never finding Murktide Regent decks. I don't know. Sure. I mean, yeah, if... Yeah, you're probably right. But I mean... I don't know. Yeah, okay. Maybe I need to be prioritizing getting the swamp into play because there's only one of it. Yeah, I guess so. It's funny, I was thinking about it earlier too, and it was like, because the mana costs in this deck are so well selected, there's just literally nothing that's double pipped. And the only thing I would want that's double pipped is Seasoned Pyromancer, which doesn't matter under the Blood Moon anyway. The Triome's like surprisingly unnecessary. Like, I really didn't feel like I needed it last night. It's just like the thing that you want to have. And I think maybe last night I was fetching better around Blood Moons, my own Blood Moons. I don't know why. So, like, we can't cast Helix on 2. I think I'm supposed to keep this again. I'll try Halsey. I assume I won't know what it sounds like because I don't know it by name. So, all right. So we're in the O2 bracket. Maybe we find something more manageable here because that was 2 tough ones in a row. Ran into the deck that just like eats us alive too fast, and then we ran into the deck that plays like 3 to 4. Well, sorry, 2 to 3 main deck Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, we found the swamp. I can't Helix, but I found the swamp. Prediction time? Sure. I mean, this isn't prediction time, but I can make a prediction for this. What the hell? All right, we got a prediction for can we hit the 2-3 this league? Well, it did. All right, we're against Grief Blade, and they mulled to 5. So I assume they're going to have their play this turn. If they sequence it correctly, I won't be able to Lightning Helix, but on the flip side, my hand is kind of insane against their deck. What happens with 3-3-2? We get our play points back? All right, this is pretty insane. So this should kind of be a blowout game. I wouldn't be surprised to see a concession here. Because they play a lot of non-basics with the Malakir rebirths. Yep. Okay. We got 1 prison win. Plus, we basically know what we're up against. So... they're on Dothy Voidwalkers, maybe Tide Hollow Scullers. So... I want Chalices for Ephemerates. Engineered Explosives is almost definitely not particularly good here. Vanishing Verse might be better. Because it can kill Grief and Solitude. I don't think any of these cards are useful. Yeah. That's a hefty wager, Halsey. All right, we're definitely keeping this hand against Griefblade because more often than not, they will keep or mull to a hand that can double or triple Thoughtseize you. So you just gotta keep a hand that can play ace. Any amount of magic will do. So we can go Godless Shrine 1, and then fetch the Swamp on 2, play the Mountain, and then we won't have white mana if we Blood Moon. What the hell else am I going to do with these beans? I haven't fixed the Leorin board yet, but I do have it installed now, and I'm working on it. So we will have the sound alerts back within the near-ish future. Oh, we top deck the plains? That's insane. Okay. They better discard some amount of cards next turn. Because if not, they are toasteroo. What? Okay, then. I mean, they found 1 basic. If that was their plan, they done did it. 23 Blood Moon. On the draw! Fetch plains? Okay. You got it. What do you do? Untap and Seal of Cleansing? Disenchant? We are playing Boggles tonight. Someone asked for it, so I don't mind. All right, bring on the pain, opponent. What do you got? Oh, I never got that swamp in because I was expecting the Helix. Huh, I've Blood Mooned myself again. Well, maybe we'll never draw any of our black cards. Of course it's Ephemerate. But they take my Karn here, right? Or are they just letting me cast it? Interesting. Just draw a swamp. Okay. So he just Helix this now. Get out of here. Did we hit something yet? Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we're pretty good at drawing planes. Well, there's a lot more of them. Can ending our own moon? Not right now, we can't. We have to draw the swamp first. We only have 2 colors. If we draw the swamp, we can ending the moon so that we will no longer be stuck under the blood moon. Can still ending our own moon without the swamp. I mean, not effectively, though, right? Right? Am I just totally misunderstanding the card? Like, I can ending the moon, it just won't go anywhere. Prismatic ending my blood moon for 2 colors. Okay, resolves. Okay, go. So we're just holding extra lands in hand in case we hit the cathartic. Well, the thrilling. I mean, it's a line. It's my favorite 5-sided, or it's my favorite. Yeah, it's my favorite. No, wait, hold on. How do I want to set this joke up? Pentagon is my favorite 4-sided shape, but it's 5-sided. Hey, 5 has 4 in it. All right, need you to chill. Okay. This is general important in the lore. Well, he's from Modern Horizons, so no. I mean, he's like it's clearly set on Ravnica, so I don't know. Do they have a sword, or are they just actually worried about their like? Fuck me. Oh, yeah. Right on. Well, they drew a swamp. One of the original Boros leaders on Ravnica. I read the novels from the first Ravnica block, and I don't remember him ever getting mentioned, so... If so, it doesn't come up very often. Protection from red. Like... Yeah. Sure, it would be nice if that equipment were tapped. Yeah, it would be. There's nothing I can do here. We're just getting our stuff pushed in. Am I supposed to play the Nahiri this turn or hold it till next turn and then rip the Prismatic Ending? I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Or top deck the Swamp. Nahiri won't give me more shots at it next turn, but it is more likely to survive next turn, so... Which... I don't think they can play any discard. I mean, I guess if they played a Grief, I would lose one of my relevant cards here. Can Unblood Moon ourselves? Oh, we could. And then Vanishing Verse. Shoot, and I should have done that this turn. But now I can play the Savai Triome untapped. Unblood Moon myself and then Vanishing Verse at instant speed. Okay. Hilarious. Yeah. Yay! My favorite play I've ever made. It's actually kind of cool. Like, I mean, that is a cool play to have to make. I'm worried about what the implications are in terms of what they're going to be able to play now, but we had to do what we had to do, so... Thoughtseize into Chalice. Bang. Are they going to unload all of their 1-mana spells just to show me? Or did they literally forget about the Chalice? I guess they forgot about the Chalice because the Blood Moon was actually affecting them more. They're going for the... Okay, well... See ya. Use Malakir Rebirth. No. Wait, use Ephemerate. Rats. They didn't use anything. Voidwalker, sure. Oh, I should have fetched in response. Not that it's like a big deal. Is it more or less traumatic than blowing up a moon-sized spaceship? That's no moon. It's a space station. I guess that didn't answer your question in any way. Not that I meant it to. So let's go Rummage, and then we're dead no matter what. Because they can equip Cauldra. So, like, I need to find, what, Karn only? RealKarnsOnly.com? That's not Karn. Yeah, it didn't matter. All right. You idiot. We've all got swords! Well, not me. They have the swords. I'm just dead. Okay, so I guess I want Kaya's Guile back. Just got to be more careful about these damn Blood Moons. Why didn't we Vindicate the dude? What? So the rest of our hand didn't do anything, Halsey. So then they just go untap, equip Cauldron to Stoneforge, kill you. So it's not that I couldn't do that. It's just that I was dead anyway. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think I'm supposed to keep them in my hand. No, let's ship one of them because I want to make sure I have 3 mana. If they have like Thoughtseize or Inquisition, they're going to take the Chalice. I'm sure of that. And then maybe we get to do something. But if we get like Grief Ephemerated here, it's going to be... Or Malakir Rebirthed. Just Inquisition. It's top deck Chalice. Nope. Maybe this deck needs another swamp instead of the basic mountain. We can cast Vanishing Verse now. Oh, there's an Urborg. Yeah, you right, dog. Okay. Yeah, the Black-White Griefblade deck is definitely the enemy fun. But I mean, we're here playing Blood Moon and Chalice, so let's be real. Wait. Okay. Reading the card explains the card. Oh man, someone put on the Law and Order theme. That is, you're my hero. Yeah. 3 for 1 myself for a 3/2 lifelink. 3 for 0 myself, I guess. Like they get the Solitude, but they spent 2 more cards on it. Discard 2 cards, get a 3/2 lifelink out of my hand. Not gonna happen. Not gonna do it. It would have, yeah. Oh, you're forgetting Liver Mortis. We could have killed our own general to generate a token. Wait, could we? No, it's not monocolored. It's not a legal target. Now, you're right. You're right. I don't think they ever had... The general was never in our hand, though. We top-decked it and played it. That's his job as the everyman, Phoenix. Ice-T has to... Oh, shoot. I just clicked no. Just telling my opponent I'm not on 8 rack. I'm just an idiot. Okay, so we lost the die roll, right, everyone? We lost the die roll. I mean, 24 land deck. I've got a Chalice in my opener. It would be way better on the play, but... Yes, I gave them the play. I went to go click on yes, and my hand just slipped. It really sucks that we don't... I mean, it sucks that I lost that die roll. This hand would be so good on the play. Probably should play the Swamp, because basically any land that I draw there would be preferable to have... Oh, no, not blue cards. You can't play those. Everyone's playing Hammer Time. I should know. I just died to it. Everyone's playing, 8 million discard spell deck. Alright, well, we're going to play it now. Get it in play. Oh... Whatever this is, it's 80 card. Sorry, I missed the Urian. Because I was goofed up about the... Are they going to spell... Okay. Just Moto things, Luke. Just Moto things. Island. Okay. You're excused, Halsey. Just hurry back. You don't want to miss any of the important content. Counterspell. You were thinking it could be Living End? That would have been preferable, honestly. Especially with the opening Chalice. Oh, yeah. I mean, at least they don't get to play the instant speed divination. Oh no! You just said you just said you needed to consume alcohol, and I assumed you were going to go get it, and so I was telling you to hurry back once gotten to ferry, huh? Okay, well that can't bounce Nahiri. Something tells me I'm about to get Force of Negation, but I'm not playing around it. Perfect mana. No. Okay. We do need to be careful about Solitudes, maybe? I think like there's probably Solitude in their deck somewhere. We already punted once. What's another going to do? We just need our opponent to punt the ball back to us. It's on the plate tonight. Well, we're playing this nonsense. Then we're going to be playing Bogley Boys. And then Dice Factory. Evening, Zetsuba. Oh, you heard Dice Factory. It's right there in the stream title. See another opponent try to Solitude the General. I was thinking about making the joke of like they're gonna Cryptic bounce it. Can't do that. They're gonna Path it. They can't do that. Like there's a lot of removal that General Ferrous dodge. Oh my god! I meant to end of turn Helix. I know what you're thinking. Zach, you still can. Oh no. I forgot about Teferi. It's probably okay that I don't. And yes, I'm aware I can't, Alex. That's the joke. It was the, oh my god, it's not that I... Yeah, it's okay they probably had the Wrath anyway. That's kind of what I'm thinking is like, I'm not even that mad about having not done it. I'm not jamming Emrakul here in a million years. It's just way too likely to eat a Cryptic command, tap down the team. They pass through attacks, through blocks, so they don't have Shark Typhoon. Thanks for the follow there, Cabs Kind. Oh, right. Yeah, that's normal and correct. Sure. Yeah. No. Right on. Right on. Love that. Do love that. Where's my boy? So, just getting Tormod's Crypt in case they have Snapcaster Mages or some such. It's, like, pretty free. I could get Liquimetal Coating, but it's, like, reasonably likely that they could have a counter. Or, not a counter. Well, no, it's reasonably likely they could have a counter for it next turn. So, Tormod's Crypt guarantees some amount of value no matter what happens. Yeah, sorry, I posted the wrong list there. If you look for the love of new keyboard. If you look at I think it might be the first deck on the list there, or second or third, whichever one says Dice Factory. That's the one we're playing tonight. Yeah, I posted the wrong picture to Twitter because I had the leftover one from yesterday, and I just sort of misread it. I have a system for how I get all the information out at the beginning of the stream, and if there's anything that's sort of not exactly where it's supposed to be, sometimes I get goofed up. Right on. Is there any more song coming with this? Yeah, I'm excited to see how Urza's Saga fits in Dice Factory. I'm pretty sure I want the Blood Moons. Vanishing Verse is probably really bad here. I guess it can shoot at Jace the Mind Sculptor. Bring in Rest in Peace for Kaya's Guile and probably a General. Oh, I don't need EE for sure, actually. Okay. Take out the Kaya for the other Vanishing Verse. Yeah, because we don't need more Graveyard Hit if I have Rest in Peace in. And, like, we have one Kaya, which in theory could be a win condition, but... Is this the song I think it is? Better Off Alone? Yeah, this is the one I think it is. This is a freaking classic right here. All right, Zach, fetch the freaking swamp. They mull to 5? I wonder if they're on, like, the Chalice blue-white deck. That would be really funny. I always assume... Is it the same song? I always assume this was, like, Talk to Me. Or potentially, parenthesis, Like Lovers Do, parenthesis. Is that the same song? That's gotta be the same song. Yeah. I'm fetching the swamp. I would like to 3-2 this league for anyone who put beans on it. I'm sorry, what? Where was that? Alright, get your Caldra. Get your Caldra. Yeah, it could be Liver Mortis. I doubt it, but... So, I mean, the real question is, with their mull, am I supposed to exile a Stoneforge here, or play Chalice on 1, let them put the Caldra in, and then Vanishing Verse the Caldra? Either one of those plans eats it super hard to force negation, and they... I think the Chalice is probably wrong, but I think it's kind of worth looking at that. I'm just going to see if I can get the... And they have blue, so if they had Counterspell, it's they're gonna get me coming or going. Come on. Force me. Force me! Alright. Vanishing Verse up in here, earning its stripes. Alright, you never had a third land, and you never had a Teferi in your life. Okay, they had a third land. You've never drawn the card Teferi Time Raveler in your life, opponent. Not once, ever. Oops. Alright, let's start slamming Blood Moons. They will have at least one counter, but might play the Kaya next turn. But the reason you start with a Blood Moon is if they don't have the counter, winning on the spot seems like a pretty good upside. And then since I started jamming Blood Moon, I think we'll just do it again next turn. Like sometimes, I don't know. Depending on the situation, you want to play your least powerful threat, but oftentimes it's just play the thing that's going to win the game on the spot. They pass it back. I mean, they shocked. That means they have Cryptic, right? I don't remember them, like, cantripping at all last game. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they either have Cryptic or they're bluffing. I think in either case we're just supposed to slam. I just hate getting 2-for-1'd. Anytime my opponent gains card advantage, it just rips a hole in my heart. They had 3 cards in hand. One of them's Caldra, so. Yeah, I would have assumed the former rather than the latter, but we got paid off. And that's why you do that. That's why you do that right there. Okay, Nahiri takes us towards an endgame very, very quickly. Looked like a bluff to you. I mean, sure. I think perhaps we are seeing why they're joining us down here in the 1-2 bracket. Because might have been Subtlety. That's true. Yeah, hard cast Subtlety. Let's go. I love it. I love it. And Subtlety. So that was like the perfect illustration of having the wrong answer, right? Let's imagine that they had the Subtlety, right? The Stoneforge was a good threat for them to start on, just like generally speaking. But then if they had Subtlety there, wait, but shouldn't they have played it and start like attacking me? Like, actually though? Can we get a +1 to the mana leak better than counterspell count, please? Just +1. Anyone keeping track? Oh yeah, we still have the what command, right? We don't... Yeah, there it is. I was like, please tell me we still have the what command. That's gotta be one of the best ones. Unfortunately, it's like a paper in joke. They would have subtlety Nahiri. Well, I mean, in theory, they could pitch for it, right? Yeah, the Watt command is pretty good. And the Watt explain command is pretty good. You want current song? Is that right? Yeah. Opponent said they'll let me get the style kill with Emrakul. I appreciate their style. All right. Even if they're trying to mess with me and they're going to solitude it anyway, I'm not really worried about this game. I don't know why they would do that, because they said they played against us last night, so... Not Solitude. Yeah, Solitude. Yeah, it does. Yeah. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Alright, I'm going to go for it since my opponent told me to do it. And if they're messing with me. It's going pretty good, Monsieur. I hope your day is even better. Spaghetti Mom, go! Alright, they're letting me do it. Good. Wait, we have the clip for this, right? Oop, no. I wonder what they're floating mana for. Are the... Oh, are we effing for the opponent? Massive frame drop, was there? I missed a Kaya uptick there. Which means I actually missed lethal next turn. But I'm not tremendously worried about it, given the state of the game. I hit the queue. I'll be right back. Filling up my water, etc. Aya! And we're back. All right. Storybook Brawl, huh? So yeah, a bunch of punts here in round 2. Round 1 was against Cedric Felix playing freaking Hammer Time, and we were on the... Did I not put up 3-2? What was my prediction that I wrote up? Or did I write 2-3? Oh, yeah, we did. Huh. Believers, take your points. I was conservative. All right. I'll keep this hand. Night Barbecue House. Because you gotta have faith, faith, faith. I gotta have faith, faith, faith. Now you gotta have faith, faith, faith. I gotta have faith, faith, faith. Baby. Reveal one of those. Not reveal. Put it into play. Because apparently you just put it in. I assume the opponent's going to think we're on something horrifying like Glimpse of Tomorrow. When we're on something horrifying like Mardu prison-y stuff. Ah, it's time for the Naya lands deck. This should actually be fairly difficult unless we find a quick... Well, that's just an exceptional, skillful draw. I mean, I want to thank my coach, Roy, who I always believed in. A lot of people say he doesn't exist, but he is, in fact, real, at least in my heart, where it matters. Just remember, Magic, especially in Modern, is a game of skill where the better player always wins. That's just facts. These are just the facts, people. This is some Fox News reporting here. Just the facts, folks. Just the facts. Turn 3 Blood Moon. I wanted it bad, y'all. I did. Hi, Larynx. Alright. Is it... Okay. No problem. So, they could Ghost Quarter themselves to save it? So... How is the strength of your conviction, opponent? Not convicted enough. Unlike me. I could have fetched the swamp there. And I have no better way to finish that sentence, so I'm going to pretend that I didn't start it. I mentally, now I call what Ponsor has done there with the text. Now for some reason in my mind, I now call that tilt text. Which that's not a thing, but for some reason, it just is a little bit for me. So it's just like Spyglass all the way on the first one here, right? Because they have Dryad. No, they're not playing Titan. At least I don't think that they are. It's Spyglass or Coating here. Because I am assuming this is Fran's Reclaimer. Lands deck that plays Titania and such. Por qué no los dos? Let's get the coating first. I don't think they have any way to remove my Karn. Maybe they're playing Helix or something? Nope, at least not yet. They've got Dryads, Valakuts, Titania, Knight of the Reliquary. Oh, there's the Dryad. Still no land, though? So now we just get the bridge, assuming that I draw a non-land card. Okay. So, land... Don't we have colorless land hate? We've got Break the Ice, right? Wait a minute. This doesn't do what I want, right? I get the bridge, I play Thrilling Discovery, and I still have 2 cards in hand. Alright, that doesn't work. I guess I could use Ballista to chump block for a turn. Or we could just EE the Dryad. That's probably the best play. Sure. Oops. Not my favorite play, but it protects the Karn. Okay, so no Titania this turn is good news. Uh-oh. You want Sorcerer's Spyglass, right? You know, destroy the lands, I'm gonna be mad. I couldn't do it this turn. What is this? Prismatic Ending X equals 4. That sucks. Yeah. So I should have killed the Dryad before. Yeah, I fucked up. Alright, that's on me. I wasn't thinking of Prismatic Ending. I was only thinking of like, oh, they're gonna get landed to Titania, and I didn't think of what other card they could actually have there. That's fine. Oh yeah. So General First gives me the most value, and if they have Titania, we might get into like a mid-range fight with their 8 million stuff. Hey, it's Telling Cat. How you doing, Kaya? I hope you and Kaya are both doing well. This one certainly is so far. Previous ones, some of them did die, but they died heroes. There's the Titania, so that's 1. And then next turn, 2, 3. Okay, that's fine. They had a basic land in hand. I love that they played it. But they don't have enough mountains for the Valakut. So we just wipe them out here. Because we play Kaya, exile the Elemental, and Helix the Titania. And then we have a bunch of golems. Battle of the 4-4? Yeah. 4-4s versus 5-3s. Turns out the 4-4s are going to be victorious. Yeah. Titania is kind of rough to play in Modern because she dies to Bolt. It's quite the tilt. I mean, I assume. Oh, no. Titania's creatures and Titania herself are theoretically the better card, but then you actually play them in Modern, it's like... Yikes. General Iron Rock is surprisingly reasonable. Uh-oh, they don't have another one, do they? Yeah, they have another one. Good top deck, I guess. Oh, man, and now they have the Ghost Quarter, too? Uh-oh. I mean, we're going to be able to play through this, but I'm going to have to cut myself off all my colors. Wait, what? Did they just... What? What? What are you thinking, sir? What? I love my opponent. I love Lamp. Okay. Alright. I guess I could have gotten a plains here because there's more whites. I should have gotten the plains there. But there are more plains in the deck, so maybe it'll work out. But like their creatures don't have trample. So... And I have a planeswalker that's going to keep generating me value. They don't have any white mana. They didn't... They were supposed to Ghost Quarter themselves. I'm assuming they don't know that. Draw with land pre-moon. I was planning on using my... We have no white mana? Yeah, I'm not actually that worried about it. Because now what we do is I just exile the elemental, and then I crack in for 8. And they either block me, or they basic... Wait, what? Oh, they drew a freaking Saga. Rude. Larynx. Yeah, I guess the Chalice was a bad choice over the over what I could have done. Well, hit the white immediately, no problem. Do I know what this deck needs? I don't know, tell me. So we just go exile one of the elementals and then swing for 4. I mean, the flip side is like... So the problem is if I plus the Kaya to try to keep killing their stuff, they just get to swing with everything. Next turn I have to lose my whole board to keep the Kaya, which I'm sure Kaya would approve of, but I think she would also approve of eating the rich. And then we swing with both golems. We're way ahead, so if they block both of these, then they're on a 4-turn clock with not a huge number of things they can draw out to. Certainly, Dryad of the Elysian Groves would be pretty good for them to hit, or another Saga would stonewall the board again. But I assume I have more castable spells in my deck on average. Alright, good. Did they need to tap 3 for that? Where did their mana... There's no Trinisphere in play. Alright, we're going to hold the lands again because we can hit... what's it called? Pedal to the Metal Commander. We can hit the Thrilling Discovery. Alright. They played an Explorer first? Oh, the lag just cracked through it, so I just didn't even register. Opponent decides to go to 1. I appreciate your style. Alright, we're good. General doing work. They were tapping in advance to crack it. That's what I thought, but the mana never went in their pool. No, it turns out that Kaya actually spotted what happened. There was a Explorer that resolved. Okay, so Vanishing Verse is good here. Kaya's Guile is probably not. And then Rip is like... Yeah, Rip is good. Stops Titania from generating tokens. Chalice is pretty poor, right? They play Prismatic Ending, Reclaimer, and Prismatic Ending, Reclaimer, and so we'll put one Chalice in the board, specifically because I might want it in the mid game off of a Karn, and it's not super good early. EE in the main deck was killer there, although in the situation where we used it, Prismatic Ending would have been a lot better. We just never drew one. Most of the rest of the deck is fine here. Vanishing Verse is good. Helix is good. Blood Moon's great. Maybe just one Rest in Peace. Yeah. Yeah, we probably want both. Kaya removing the elementals was so huge there, though. I'll just go down one Thrilling. I have no plans to Ponsour. I played a version of that early on the format, and I think I 4-1'd with it or something similar. I mean, it's just the next Blue-Red Prowess. Actually listened to the Dive Down episode today that was mostly about it, and it was super tilting because they just like constantly called it a control deck, and I'm like, stop. Yeah, I saw that, Kaya. Actually, this is a pretty bad keep, to be honest. But I have the Discovery maybe to try to smooth it out, so I guess that's... Like, we have a curve, in theory. But if they have Reclaimer on 1 and 2 Flagstones on 2, I'm going to get beat up big time. Where's the Reclaimer on 1? It's fine, Discovery will fix the hand. Yeah, that's definitely like what... Oh, yeah. Right on time, baby. Right on time. You love to see it. Yeah. Just keep the Brainstorm and Fetch Land on the draw. You'll be fine. Nobody's plays Stifle. Stifle's a myth. Stifle is a myth that modern players tell their children to keep them on the straight and narrow. Yeah, exactly. Best top deck ever was the Gemstone Caverns, because now we have an easy discard. Well, I mean, Blood Moon is now a Stone Rain, and like the Gemstone Caverns is the land I want. Like, I'm definitely just pitching these two. The Chalice Twins. Yikes. Did I get a haircut? I did not. Yeah, my hair came out funny out of the shower today. I don't know why. And then, like, the headphones kind of make it look different, usually. All right, you're missing a land, right? Should dye my hair purple? I would, but I need to bleach it first, and I just don't have that much hair to go around with, so if anything goes wrong with that, it's going to be pretty disastrous. It also sounds like a lot of work, but, like, I don't want to pull the spike thing and be like, people donated, or not, people gave in, it was like 1 billion of the channel points on his channel to get him to dye his hair pink, and then he dyed it like what I would refer to as like, I don't know, like, it was like auburn. He just took his brown hair and dyed that quote unquote pink, and it turned out to be like a brownish reddish, which, like, whatever. It's not like, yeah, it was a lot more red adjacent, right? Which is fine. I don't care. But if I was the person who donated for someone to dye their hair pink and that's the color I got, I would have been like, okay, disappoint. So we're very slowly dying, which is fun. We have no access on colors. Yeah, exactly. Well, what else was I going to do? Like, I legitimately had basically nothing else I could do. right? I mean, like, what was I gonna do there? Cast General Ferrous and just let them like rip up with the construct? Not likely. Oh right, Reclaimer doesn't cost green to activate. Yeah, of course it doesn't. Draw better? I'm trying. I really am. I mean, I should have mulliganed the opener. That's the biggest problem here. I mean, I have the rip to shrink this if we find a plains. So, yeah, Murktide's a tempo deck. It's on the upper end of tempo, in that it usually goes quite a bit slower. But it can also play, like, low tempo, Protect the Queen. See you in a bit, Halsey. So, it's a tempo deck, right? It's a tempo deck that is sort of in the mid-rangey level of tempo, so it can play a lot more controlling, a lot more like Protect the Queen, and the threats in it are good enough that it can do that. But like, a lot of their games look like stick an early threat and then play counter magic or removal, counter magic or removal, counter magic or removal, and then win. Sometimes, though, if their early threat dies, they can either then play a second one or third one and keep mana up, or then eventually build up enough mana to play Murktide Regent and keep mana up for that. All right, we're just dead here. What's the difference between control, tempo, mid-range, especially the last two? So the biggest difference between mid-range and tempo is the way you're interacting with your opponent's stuff. Tempo is like aggro control, and mid-range is like a lot more playing to the board, increasing your own permanent count, and usually the removal. So like Jund is a mid-range deck, right? But it's a mid-range deck that's like kind of usually tries to stop the game on turn 3 or 4 resource wise, and have the best cards that cost like 3 and 4. Whereas like the tempo deck really relies on playing a lot of cheap stuff. Like I think the best versions of the Murktide deck aren't looking to play any spells that cost 3. Everything is 2 or 1. And the biggest thing is like all of their removal is cheap, all of their interaction is cheap, and all of their threats are cheap, and they kind of walk a fine line of if their opponent ever pulls ahead, it's really hard for them to recover. It's very similar to playing an aggro deck where it's like if your opponent survives with like any number of resources, you know, to like turn 5 or 6, you're going to be in trouble. And the tempo deck is like, if you're not putting pressure on your opponent to be killing them by turn 5 or 6, usually you're going to win. That's not really quite true with the Murktide deck because they can go longer if they need to. Because eventually they just like play Murktide with like 2 counters up and it's an 8/8 flyer. But the biggest thing about... So control is about inevitability. Control never needs to deploy a threat until much later. They just don't care. They're just like, the first threat I'm going to play could be turn 12. The thing is, that doesn't normally work particularly well in Modern, with a few exceptions. But, yeah, we found a good hand. I'm kind of about it. So we go Savai Triome, Plains... All right, let's actually think about the sequencing here, because it's important. I'm really hoping we see, like, tap Valakut on one. They kept the 7, so maybe they don't have Reclaimer. But Chalice into Moon into Flagstones is not a Reclaimer. That's fine. That's not acceleration. Okay. Okay. Oops, all mesas. So yeah, control is like huge amounts of interaction, but you don't actually sort of move towards winning the game so much as you mostly are trying not to lose. Versus tempo and mid-range where you're a lot more proactive. Mid-range is proactive in a sort of resource sense, and they're not always super worried about actually killing the opponent, because they know they will eventually. Yeah, we're going no Swamp Blood Moon again. Yeah. You know, with how good the colors are set up in this deck, we might want to be playing Prismatic Vista. Play like, play Arid Mesa, no, Prismatic Vista and Marsh Flats, maybe? I agree that it's totally fine to do it this game versus last game. And this time, like, we have access to white, right? Which is, like, a huge difference. Even if they float mana here and, like, disenchant or whatever, we're going to be okay. If they have Dryad immediately, we're going to be okay. So I love playing Control in larger events, but, like, the bigger problem is I don't like playing Control in Modern for the most part, because as I've been mentioning, like, I like playing Control in Modern if it's a low-stakes thing, or if I'm just, like, doing it to see how good I can play, because they had a Ren 6? Wild. Sorry. Because Control is, like, it's like a lot of weird decisions of, like, trying to prioritize your removal, because you have to apply it very carefully a lot of the time. The difference between mid-range and tempo is mostly how they generate advantage. Mid-range decks grind a fair rate, whereas tempo decks rely on counterspell and card filtering. So, like, I think the better way to do this is just say, like, what is which. So, like, Spirits, Death Shadow, and the Murktide Regent deck. These are tempo decks. They're constantly playing to the board, being aggressive while disrupting the opponent. Whereas Jund, the Black-Red Luris deck, which is like that kind of new Jund, let's say Mardu, Stoneblade, although that sort of, anyway. Tempo decks sacrifice card advantage for temporarily denying opponents resources to press the win while they're ahead. True. Yeah, true. That's absolutely true. It's like Force of Negation is a godsend for tempo decks. Rhinos is a tempo deck, in my opinion. Cascade Rhinos. The way that deck plays is very, very tempo-like. Hold on. Let's see what we flip into here. Well, you're. I mean, you may be joking, Boomer, but I actually saw Heliod with Magus of the Moon within the last couple of days. That was the 9th place in one of the challenges on the weekend. I mean, I assume that it is Larynx, but I mean, they could be playing Solitude. I don't think so. Tron is a tempo deck. I mean, Tron is basically a combo deck, right? The way I would think of it, it's a combo deck, just like Titan. They're both combo decks. They're both huge synergy engines that try to do something powerful really, really early. Like, by utilizing synergy. I would just call them combo decks. They're combo decks. We managed to 3-2 that league. So, despite some pretty tough early beats there, including a loss to the one and the only Cedric Phillips on Hammer Time, which is one of the best decks in the format. Yeah, we have some seriously good legs here. Just because the person who donated for this, Darth Combo, which is not your real name, so I feel comfortable saying it, and anyone who's been here knows that. Because you are trying to register this deck for an event which you said is competitive, I just have to reiterate, I think you would be much, 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 much better off playing red-white, not playing black, and trying to solve the Murktide stuff that way. Maybe that involves not playing Chalice. Maybe it involves boarding out your Chalices for Path to Exiles. Maybe it involves boarding or playing main deck Winds of Abandon instead of Vanishing Verse or some of the other cards. I am not saying the black cards didn't add value to this deck, and I'm not saying that I played those matches perfectly, but my instinct is, and I know you had some budget concerns too, which are why you're not going for Seasoned Pyromancer, but I think Seasoned Pyromancer in a red-white version of this deck that is not playing General Ferrous Rokiric, that is not playing black, is probably the best way to do this. Now, that said, I think we have a pretty good set of tools as is. Timely Reinforcements really didn't impress me much at all. And the mana base, yeah. I think... Oops. What did I do? Oh, I moved something from the sideboard into the main deck. It was the Timely. I think maybe 4 Marsh Flats and some Prismatic Vistas might be a good place to be. Like, you definitely do not need 2 mountains in this deck at all. I don't even know if you need 1. I think that is going to help a lot very quickly. I like 2 Gemstone Caverns, and the Triome is unnecessary too. Shouldn't we just go more all in with the Ponzi scheme and play the ape that blows up artifacts? Well, 1, that card gets countered by Chalice of the Void, so no. And then 2, I mean, if you want to play more copies of Liquimetal Coating, I guess you could do that. But I don't really think that's something that I'm interested in doing. So, I think improving the mana base would be the best thing to do with this deck. And I think the best place to start would be probably cutting down on the number of Arid Mesas in favor of 1 or 2 more basics. Or maybe not even basics, but just finding ways to... I mean, if you want to play more land, just because you're shouting about it, I would just play more Vindicates. If you want to play more, land destruction, play more of copies of Vindicate. That's what I would do. So there's probably some ways to improve this mana base under Blood Moon. Maybe the number of fetches is right, but like a 3rd basic plains. I don't think you want a 2nd swamp because we had this swamp early a couple times and it got in the way of things like Lightning Helix. I did see the Susurrus Prison deck, but maybe I download it. But if you want to relink it for me, B Temple, because I think it piqued my interest when it did come up. Anywho, if there was anything like more cheap removal that we could play other than Prismatic Ending, that would be great. Oh, the Black-Red Lurrus is what we got trashed by in round 2. Yeah, I mean, that was just pretty bad beats. Like, they drew infinite Kolaghan's Commands. They top-decked Thoughtseize at a bad time for us, so it's fine. Thanks, B Temple. Oh, this is what we're playing next. No, not next. Last. This is what we're playing last tonight. We're playing exactly that deck. B Temple. That's the Dice Factory deck. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think this is mostly very good. If Darth Combo comes back to watch this, that's where I got to on here. I don't think the Timelies are great in the sideboard, but I don't know necessarily what I'd want to replace them with. Trying to think if it would be crazy to play a Ghostly Prison in your sideboard. Or something of that nature. Maybe. Or like Terminate, maybe. I guess Vanishing Verse does everything Terminate does, but better. And then Winds of Abandon is a potential card too. Anyway, if you are in the future and you've enjoyed watching this second take of the General's Moonbase, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any of my other videos that you are interested in. And for everyone who's live,